Good morning, everyone. Hi.
Good
Okay,
morning.
we have the lovely Lisa this morning that is going to lead our call. So I'm super excited to learn from her. Lisa, are you available? Okay, while we wait for her, we can get started. Hey, Casey. Hi, Jim. Good morning. Oh, there she is.
Morning.
Hello. Okay, I'm just going to hand it over to you. You're going to be leading us this morning. Oh, you're muted, love. Lisa, you're muted. Your mic.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure this is all brilliant,
Slow
though.
start to my morning. Sorry, everyone. Casey and Sarah, I am Lisa Malone. I work with Paige. It's nice to meet you guys. Paige is on an airplane right now. So she voluntold me to come on and help you guys. And we have a very loose agenda, but I do want to know a little bit. And Navani, you might be able to help me with this as well. I understand you guys last week are covered how to approach a medical office. Is that correct? Is that my understanding?
Correct. That is correct.
Good deal. So I thought that might be a great place to start. I do have two other agenda items I'd love to give you guys some information on, and I invited Dr. Purvis to join us, and then Susan, one of my dietitians, to join us as well, that have been in the scanner business for a little while. So they can also help us triage some of these answers to the questions you guys have, or answer them with some additional information. So what I want to do is open the floor right now and let's talk about that last week and see if it spurred any questions in you from what Paige shared with you guys last week. Or comments.
It was really helpful last week. I did have questions, and I'll be honest, I don't know where my notebook is that I developed after it, that I wrote them down in. But it was just really good to hear her flow of the conversation and how, it can be a very natural thing and it doesn't have to be, it's just finding out what their needs are.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's actually part of what I had on the agenda today is kind of qualifying a prospect, which is all part of that opening conversation. Casey, thank you, Sarah. Thanks.
To be honest, I was not on last week, so I'm just kind of getting started with uh, the software and just kind of diving into the Pharmanex side. So I'm just here to listen and learn. I wasn't really available last week, so I'm not sure what was shared, but
All good. It's a process. It's definitely a process, and you guys have a lot of exciting opportunities to learn in this new world that you'll be embarking on. How many of you guys, and Navani, also you, how many of y'all were on yesterday's call that was in the afternoon? Hi, Julie. It was a new skin announcement about our new scanner.
I was not on that call. I will be catching the replay because I actually had an appointment already preset for business during that time. Yet I did hear it was super awesome and informative. So would love to hear the details from you guys that have watched.
Yeah, it was, I think one of the big things I took home and I want to share it with you guys this morning is they sound like they're going to do some extensive training. And I was so pleased to hear that because there are, and I haven't counted them recently, but over about 54 nutritional products alone. That doesn't include the skincare side. So there's a lot. And obviously those you won't have to memorize all of those. And I know Paige is going to help take you through the process of what are scanner certified products and then what are in the PDR too, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. I wanted to ask Navani to share what you thought last week were some key points, and maybe if you thought of any questions from approaching a medical office or even an experience, if you guys have some questions about it.
No, like Sarah mentioned, it was very informative in terms of, I think especially for us social girls, that haven't previously focused on the scanner business, yet had intent and passion to, it was just, it was great knowing that that's really all it is, right? It's a conversation, whether you're doing, the scanner business or anything else, it all just starts with a conversation and, turning cold market into warm market. So I have been implementing that with success, which is awesome, and it kind of, when you put your take your first step over that threshold, right? It's nerve-wracking. So it's great, to have people like you, even Dr. Jim on here and Paige with all of your knowledge and wisdom and experience to share with us, because it's making this journey so much more pleasant than if we aim to, crack it by ourselves. And I know for the rest of the ladies here that also did social with me, I get that question, like, how are you doing this? And honestly, I just ripped off the Band-Aid and went with intuition for the most part, right? And started speaking about it, because usually when people ask me what I do, my standard response is, oh, I help people, start a business on social media. And so I'm moving away from that and actually talking about the supplemental side, the nutrition side, which is truly my passion. I live that lifestyle. And just that is opening up conversations, and then also, moments where I can invite to the business. And that's exactly how I've been getting appointments. So thank you.
Excellent. No, I want to probe into that just a little bit more. Can you give us an example of a story?
Yes, I can. So we live in a very small town. That being said, it's also a town that's very seasonal. So at this point, it's high season and there are many events that are taking place. And I love to attend events because you meet new friends, right? Like Dan McCormick says, make a friend. And friends, lead to conversations. There's always that question that comes up, what do you do? So case in point, a couple weeks ago, a friend had invited my husband and I to dinner. And we knew we were sitting at a table for 10, and we had no idea who the other couples were going to be. They all ended up being doctors, one retired, one ER surgeon, and one that I didn't get to talk to. However, through just conversation, I talked to one of the wives who's an RN, who works at a medical wellness center. And she started asking me, and again, I started with my standard, and then I switched it to the nutrition, and her eyes just grew wide. She was so fascinated. And I only gave her a tidbit, right? And then we had a follow-up call last week. I had only a 20-minute meeting with her, which for me sounded too easy, too simple, too quick. Yet it led to a follow-up, which I have today with her manager for an hour. And she just increased the time as well because she wants her esthetician to take a look at the Renew Spa and Lumi Spa as well. So just kind of very organic, honestly.
Excellent, though. But those are some of the best. The organic ones are more natural, more conversational. So, for those of you that have just come in a little late, I'm Lisa Malone. I work with Paige. I've been selling the scanner for 4 years. I do have a background in pharmaceutical sales, so I have 20 years of working in medical offices. And then I'm also a registered dietitian. On this call was Susan. She's still on here. Susan is another registered dietitian on my team. And then Dr. Purvis, I invited him to join too, for as these questions come about, if you guys have something in particular you want to ask either one of them. Great. So the success came in just having conversation, moving forward in that conversation and setting an appointment, And the appointment, was it a medical aesthetic clinic?
Yes, it is. So
Perfect.
they do
Yes.
IV infusions, massage, facials, just the basics.
Gotcha. Okay. Does anyone on here have a scanner yet? Okay, Sarah's got one, and I keep wanting to call you Paige, Navani. Yes, yeah, that's what's showing up on my window.
Oh, I should rename that. I apologize.
Sarah, how long have you had your scanner? No, that's fine. How long have you had your scanner?
I've had it for coming up on a year now. I think I've had it for, yeah. So I haven't utilized it like I should, but I've done a few like local events at scanning at gyms here that have little
Perfect.
events to scan people. And I've gotten some customers that way. And I have a chiropractor in my business as well. And then a massage therapist that's bringing the scanner into her business also.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. And Navani, you raised your hand. You have a scanner, correct? Julie, you said you have yours on the way. Is that correct? This is all exciting. I have a tip for you. But Navani, before I give you the tip on how to embark upon some of the conversations with the scanner, sounds like Sarah and Navani have gotten a good jump start there. Navani, how long have you had your scanner?
5.5 years.
Oh, well, girl, you need to be leading this call. You've had it longer than I've had mine.
No, ma'am. No, like I said, very intimidated. I just am a geek for all things science and nutrition, and my goal in becoming a brand rep was to get a scanner. No other reason, even though I built my business in social media. So I've only done a couple tiny events in town. Yet last year, divine timing, right? I somehow got the intuition that I needed to resurrect that. And I'm so glad that I did, especially with this iteration. No, we're here to learn from you. I have a little event tonight, actually, a wellness event. And so I'm just sitting here because I created like a little thingy because I don't have the fancy posters like with my QR code and stuff. So I just wanted to show everyone this is what I created so people can scan the QR code to go to the form, the landing page that Paige created for us, and then to go to those other pages where they can purchase. So that is all set for us. I've been working on that. So it's good to go if anyone else has events and would like to use that. And then we're also going to use that in the doctor's offices and stuff. So it's easy checkout for them. Yet, Lisa, I do have a question.
Yes, please.
So at my event today,
yes.
I'd love to hear the language that you use. I'm always stuck in the first sentence. After I'm past that, it's great, right? It goes. Yet, so I'm going to have a little table. There's going to be other vendors there, and people are going to approach me. They're going to see the scanner. Like, what is some of the language that you all use, or Jim, or Susan, whoever else has done events?
Absolutely. And yeah, you've had Julie's asking you for a photo of that, Navani. That's excellent. And I will pull from Jim and Susan here. Susan's done a couple, well, a convention and some scanning events. One thing, and Navani, I will answer that question, but then to get into that question is when you guys get your scanner, and Sarah, you could still do this at your house. And Navani, you could host a scanner party. I know that sounds almost like a Tupperware party, and I hate to use that term if you remember your mom's having those, but that helps you practice, Navani. So it goes into your question. Julie or Sarah, you said you did an event at a health and fitness center. That's a very good place to start with an event as well. I plan next month is National Nutrition Month, and so I'm going to go to as many health and fitness centers as I can and just say, hey, I'd love to have a booth here and promote National Nutrition Month with the scanner. So as far as opening the conversation, wow, there are so many different ways, Navani, to do it. Now, I'm one, I have the scanner sitting on the table and I ask them if they'd like to know what their diet looks like, or if they're taking fruits and vegetables. I'm sorry, if they're taking supplements, if their supplements are working. And you kind of get a quizzical look and they're like, what? And it's like, well, this is an antioxidant scanner that can let you know the health of your cells. These are things different people use at different times. Dr. Purvis, I see you have unmuted yourself, so I think that you have some good terminology you like to use as well.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Jim Purvis. A little background, I'm a pediatrician who has practiced for 30 years. I'm trying to transition to being a retired pediatrician, and I got my scanner in early December, so I'm very new at this. Maybe y'all may have more experience than I do. But some of the things, and particularly in reaching out to physicians and to anyone, I would like to make a couple of points to think about. One, we are social creatures, meaning we communicate. Communication takes the speaker and the listener, and good communication that the participants exchange those roles back and forth. You don't have to recite a book of knowledge on this subject. And yes, I am working on the right wordage, okay, if I may use that term. And I don't think if that matters so much whether you're talking at an individual, at a scanning event, or a physician, or whatever. You establish a rapport. You find common ground. Okay, and we are all concerned about our health. And you hear we use the word antioxidants and oxidative stress, and a lot of words that may not resonate with everybody. I'm trying to come up with words, and I like using the term oxidative balance, okay? Because that's what we're really getting at. And the balance between, yes, the antioxidants, we use the word carotenoid. I think that's getting a little too specific. I like the antioxidant as opposed to the free radical. Okay. Antioxidant being good, free radical being bad. However, free radicals do provide a service for our body. It's used by the immune system to kill bacteria, and there's other needs, but it needs to be in the proper balance. So in that way, we keep it simple. There are other antioxidants besides the carotenoids, but we can say that our majority of antioxidants comes from our nutrition, from our diet. Okay. And yes, it's not only you have to eat fruits and vegetables, you have to eat the correct fruits and vegetables, the colorful fruits and vegetables. So that's where the role of supplements come in to add that to what we're taking in through our diet. And that was the point that I wanted to make about wordage is make it your own. You don't have to, you kind of make a script, but don't memorize someone else's script. Make it your own in words you understand. And I would expect the person you're talking to would understand those words. And if not, they're words that you can better explain to them.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Jim. And going along with what you said, I wrote down 3 questions that Dr. Moore said is a way to qualify a prospect. You can do this at your party. You could do it at a scanning event. Sarah, you can let us know how you opened up the conversation. But this one's real simple, and it's like Dr. Purvis said, make it your own. One of my favorite questions when I'm scanning somebody is, do you believe in nutrition? that's really open-ended. And then you can follow it. Well, do you take supplements? Which is similar to what I said before. So those two questions will help you prospect, qualify the person that's there, and if they're really going to believe what you're doing and what you're showing. Then the third question is, especially in an event like you had, Sarah, you say, well, how many fruits and vegetables do you eat? And then New Skin will train you, and you'll have, and Paige will probably share it with you too, that, and I've trained my reps that when you get that score, if you assign it to a letter grade, has Paige shared that with you? Have you heard that? That really resonates with people when they go, oh, I got a D. I thought I ate better than that. And they're more likely you have validated that score with what they're really doing. And they some people call it a lie detector test, but yeah, thanks, Jim. Thanks for that input. We didn't lose you. Susan, are you still on here? Susan's getting ready. She may have hopped off. Nope, she's there. She's getting ready to have a scanner party. You guys probably can't see it. This was I've got my background blurred, but she uses Canva. There, you can see it a little bit better. And she's going to have a scanner party at her house. And Susan, you've done a lot of scanning. Would you like to come off and give us some of your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm trying to learn, I'm still trying to learn Zoom, so forgive me. But yes, I am having a scanning event at my home actually this Sunday, and I don't mind sharing. I want to try and see if I can put it in the chat. I don't know how to paste. I don't know how to do that.
Are you on your, yeah, you're on your phone. Is that not your computer?
Yeah, so you can do it better on the computer?
Well, I was just going to let Navani share the screen let you share your screen, and you could pull up your flyer you created.
Sure, we can do that. Susan, you're muted. Just so you know, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I hit the thing again.
I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
While they're getting that pulled up, kind of not necessarily coining a phrase, but more an idea. Instead of making this about general health, because people are going to consider themselves healthy, ask them about their cellular health, because that's where the oxidative balance comes into play. You can't feel your cells, okay? But it's the cellular health that we're trying to focus on.
Great point, Dr. Purvis. Yeah.
Can y'all see it?
Yes.
Okay. So I just kind of created this like a couple of at the conference that I went to. There were two pull-ups that I borrowed from Lisa, and one was, are your supplements working? Because a lot of times people like, well, I'm taking supplements and all this stuff. Well, we can find out if they are being absorbed by what their scan score is. And then the other, if people aren't taking supplements, well, are you eating enough fruits and vegetables? And so I'm kind of like throwing a seine net out there to see how many fish I can catch. And I'm inviting any and everybody to just stop by for a come and go. It's not a big event like I'm going to present anything. They're just stopping by and getting a scan and filling out the lead form and rolling on and out. Of course, answer any questions that they have or talk about anything that they want to know. And of course, sign them up for product if they want product. But and within the invitations of who I'm sending out, I am sending out to people who are NPs or nurses, because they may want to, incorporate this into their practices, or they may know a physician that might want to incorporate this into their practice. So that's just kind of what I'm trying to do right now.
No, it looks good, and I like it. And that's an example of what I was saying about the scanner party. getting your friends over and practice. And you can even say that to them, I'm practicing. Letting them ask you questions, and that helps you know what some of the questions are that you might get. Sarah, I did want you to share with us anything that when you were doing your scanning events that resonated, that people, you saw light bulbs go off with anything you said.
Because I did it at a gym, you have a lot of people that think that they're like, nobody scored well. Nobody.
That's common, very
Yeah.
common.
I think the highest I got was, I think there's one person that was in the green. And I used the grading scale. I learned that from, I don't know where I learned that, but when I got introduced to the scanner, I've been doing the business for 10 years in new skin. So I've learned a lot of things just from listening over years. So I used the grading scale, and that really helped people, I think, listen. And I got several people on G3 because it's cheaper on the cheaper side, and then Life Pack. But I talked to them about like I just asked them, I told them that this showed how well they ate, because a lot of the people weren't even on supplements at all. And several people, well, I eat really healthy. And like the owner at the gym, she scored really not well. And she looks healthy, like she's lean and everything. And so, the one challenge that I had was making people understand like that like if you exercise a lot, you have a lot of oxidative stress, right? So you have to maybe eat even more health. If you think you're eating healthy, you have to add to that, because you're not eating enough to counteract all the activity that you're doing. So that was like the hardest thing, is not making people understand, but helping people understand that even if they deem themselves healthy, but their score is not showing it, that they need to supplement or create more lifestyle changes with it. But it was a learning experience, because it was the first one that I did it last. It was in like last fall. And so I'd never done one before. So it was a learning experience.
It sounds like you did great though.
Yeah. So it went better than I thought I did. And like to be, there's different kind of, like there's more blue collar areas of towns and white collar. And I was in a very blue collar town, like I live in a blue collar town. That's where I did the event. But people, like, you can't judge people I learned that on where you're at. People still want to take those steps to be healthy. And we have products that can fit a lot of different budgets. So I also got better. Like, I learned from that as well.
Gosh, great input. Thank you for sharing. Now you need to do one every month.
Yeah, I know. I know it's next month. I'm like, I just wrote down, I'm like, okay, I know I'm reaching out to these places.
Awesome.
I can go sit there.
Awesome. Is there anybody else that has a question for Sarah or Navani or Dr. Purvis or Susan?
I have a question, actually.
Yes, ma'am.
For you, I've heard, well, and I'll ask Sarah too. I've heard the answer, yet I would love for you to share so other people, know the answer as well. How do you, Lisa, approach gym? So I love that we have Nutritional Month next month. So that's a great opening, right? Yet how, for me, when I enter a relationship, I look for mutual benefit, right? I don't want it to just be, oh, hey, I have a scanner and I'd like to do this. So how do you incorporate that, if you do, into the conversation so that because they're benefiting, they're more open, to having you there?
Great. Sarah, I'll let you. The one I'm approaching right now is a friend of mine, so that's easy.
Yeah, that's what I had too.
That was my warm market. So I went to my warm
mine too.
Yeah, you guys can go to a gym that you're currently a member of, or your family or someone, and approach them that way. And I think you could, free. You'd love to do a free scanning event, tell them a little bit about it. For National Nutrition Month, did you know it's National Nutrition Month next month? And then this is a device that can help people see their cellular health and how well they're eating, or if they're taking supplements, if they're working. And I'd love to scan your members. And with the hopes that the gym owner would see how popular the booth is, and people love to scan. So if you haven't done a scanning event in a public area yet, just wait. Get help. We can talk more about that in the future. But my booth is always the most popular booth at any, whether it's a medical convention or even at just a consumer event. People line up to scan. And anyway, so that you would hope that the owner would learn a little bit more, watch, see the popularity of it, and be interested in putting a scanner in his business, and then helping his clientele, like you said, Sarah, help reduce their oxidative stress and inflammation. Because that's two words you guys are going to hear as you're going through this training. And Dr. Purvis alluded to it a lot about oxidative stress, but I think you can translate that into inflammation, and inflammation is a buzzword. Everybody understands inflammation. Everybody wants to reduce their inflammation to feel better. The higher the oxidative stress, the higher the inflammation. So if you want to just use that word inflammation right now, if that's a more comfortable word for you to use, I use that a lot. Dr. Purvis, did you want to add to that?
Oxidative balance
I like
rather
that.
than stress.
I like that.
And yes, people that are working out, oxidation, when you metabolize oxygen, you create these free radicals. Communication 101. How to kind of start the conversation? Give them a compliment. Find something that they're doing that you can compliment them on. And then I want to reference an old movie, Jerry Maguire. Help me, help you. Tell them how you can bring benefit to them and their clientele / patient. And that should prompt interest, should prompt curiosity.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
I have one thing to share, Navini, that I learned from a gym owner who's a friend of mine, that they're always looking for ways to add value to their gym and their clients, whether, it's just a one-time thing, but so I think a lot of places would be open, especially like Lisa said, it's a free scanning event that adds value for their members outside of what they do. So it's something kind of new and different that'll bring people back into the gym too.
Yeah. No, Sarah, that's great. And I love the way you said add value. I forget to use that phrase a lot, but I know that's a real important phrase. Great.
I love that. Thank you, ladies. Lisa, so may I clarify? You say free scanning event. Does that mean you do not charge for the scan, or you don't charge them for allowing you to be in there?
I don't charge for anything for the exposure. I have, and you guys probably do too, I have a table, I have a tablecloth, I have my pull-ups, and obviously handouts already. So it's just fun to go in and hopefully you'll get some orders. Susan said she doesn't know how to raise her hand, so we'll let her add here. But I do it free. The scans do cost you, so everybody will know on here, $2 per scan. When you purchase your scanner, and again, a lot's about to change this next year with the new scanner, but right now, when you purchase a scanner, so Julie, you should get a lump sum of scan credits. I mean, it'll exceed 300-400. I think when Dr. Purvis got his, he had over 900, and Susan may have had that many as well. So yeah, we can scan forever. We can do free scanning events, and then the objective is to hopefully get an order from that. And then rescan. You guys know about the rescanning bonuses. So those of you that are new to this, you want to rescan your customers because of the guarantee that Nu Skin offers with their products. But by rescanning in that 60-day period, the customer will see their score go up, which is just empowering them to continue on the supplement. So and you don't have to wait 60 days. I have some people that are sitting on the edge of their chair and they're like, I want to do it. It's been a month. I want to do it. And I explained to them it might not be as high in 30 days as it will in 60 days. But Navani, did your question get answered? And then I'm going to go to Susan because she apparently has had her hand up for a while.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, great. Susan?
Well, when y'all were talking about inflammation, I just recall from on last week's webinar with Dr. Gonzalez. He kind of called it inflammaging.
Oh, yeah.
Because it ages us quicker, when we have a lot of if our antioxidants are low. So just a little, if you want to jazz it up.
No, that's cute. I like that. Thank you for adding that. Dr. Purvis, you don't know how to raise your hand either. And Bobby had a question I want to respond to. I'm picking on you, Dr. Purvis. Did you want to add?
I was just adding, I didn't know how to raise my hand either. I didn't mean to butt in. I want to be polite.
Oh, okay. Well, did you want to add something to Susan's
No,
inflammaging?
I was just sharing my inexperience with Zoom.
Oh, yeah. And when we get experience, then they change it, like everything. Bobby, you put in the chat, if you previously had a scanner and get it back, do you get all those old scans you accumulated, or are they gone? What a great question, and I don't have the answer to that. Anybody else on here have that answer? The scanner department would be able to answer that for you. And
Okay.
what's
I had
your
one for, I don't know, a while. And I just found you guys, but I sent it back, I think, last month. And now, oh no. But I wanted to chime in a little bit. I've done a couple events with the scanner, and one of them was a health fair, and I did it with another gal, and she had set up the booth. I was just there to help her. And she had a ton of like product and other stuff as well. And that didn't go as well as the second one that I did, where I just had the scanner on the table and my Renew Spa, and I had kind of a big, I don't know, poster thing that it was just focused on those two devices as opposed to anything else. And I got a lot more scans and people curious with the focus being on that as opposed to look at all of our stuff.
What an excellent point, too. And some people don't understand supplements, so they avoid them because they don't understand them. So this way you left it very open, but I love the way you say focusing on the two, just two items there. I like that. That's really good. Yeah, keeping it simple. Thanks, Kelly. So true with anything we do. And Dr. Purvis said that too. Our own language, keeping it simple in our own language. So I want to make sure before we hop off that everyone's questions were answered. I did want to say one other thing to Bobby. I just thought about this. Bobby, one of my doctors a few years ago sent her scanner back and then decided the same thing a couple months later. She wanted it back. And I called the scanner department. And because it was within a 3-month window, we didn't have to restart her account. She just had to pay back the lease just the month that she missed.
Oh.
And yes, and so check with them, call them, and have a conversation. So,
I thought I would call after this call just to ask all the things because I thought, oh crap, does that mean like I can't get it again for a year? I don't know.
Oh, no. They were really nice to her about that.
Thank you.
All right, more questions before we I guess in the time. Does Paige ended at 10, Navani? Is that when you guys?
Well, it's slated for 30 minutes. Usually it goes a little over. So, however, it flows. I did indicate a question in the chat. And I guess Julie had the same question as well. So maybe that can be our last question, if that's all right.
Perfect. So, okay, so do any of you have any supplements there, especially Life Pack, to show the convenience of all-in-one pouch per serving?
Yes, convenience, not convince. Thank you.
Oh, that's okay. I knew what you meant. Sarah, you were shaking your head. Yes. Did you have some Life Pack samples?
I took my box of supplements with me.
Yeah.
That's and I had G3 bottles and I had little shot glasses, colorful plastic shot glasses, disposable ones. And I also actually had a mixed thing of new biome there, like that people could try the new biome, even though that's not a scanner, but it gets people to come over because, people want to try stuff for free.
Right. Well, in the new biome, we have so much amazing research on how it helps, the gut health, but also even, so many people have so many inflammatory issues with their gut. And we've got new research that helps, that shows it reduces that bloating. So we have some outcome studies with that, guys, you'll want to dig into. So yes, that's great. I love that. Anything you can taste test, that's my opinion. It will draw people to your booth as well. Anybody else?
And I think having the products there brings it home to them what they will look like. It makes it, they can become familiar what to expect.
Yeah, and Navani, it might have been you to show the convenience, mention the convenience of everything in one pouch. Yeah. And I like to tell them what what the white pills are, what the carotenoid colored pill is.
Well, you should teach me that. I don't know that actually.
The minerals are white, the vitamins are mustard, and the carotenoids are yellow.
Yeah, and it's on the life pack box. So if you flip over the life pack box, yeah, it's okay. It's one of those things I learned sitting there eating cereal and reading the box one day. So
okay.
It may be in the PIP too.
And it wasn't Captain Crunch you were eating either, was it?
Yeah, never.
Oh gosh, this was so fantastic. Thank you, Lisa, for leading it. We need to have you more often because so many nuggets. I know everyone found value from this, so appreciate
Well, you guys contributed too, so thank you for all the participation. And yeah, before we go, any other questions that anybody doesn't know how to raise their hand? You can come off mute. Well, good deal. Well, Navani, you've got my cell number. Any of you have questions, you can reach out to Navani and grab it. And looking forward to working with you guys in the future and hopping on some more of these calls.
Oh, thank you again. All right. Have a great day.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck with your scanning parties.
We'll see you on Friday, same time.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.